This week on Waxing the Porpoise, G-Baby and the usual suspect Steve welcome once again special guest Staring Jon to discuss the lesser-known Altman classic and so-called anti-Western McCabe Mrs. Miller from 1971. Join us as we talk about some of the late-stage Old West themes at play, argue about whether or not this is a message movie, briefly mention 80s living room stalwart Alf for good measure, and finally discuss a provocative gambit posited by Steve as a possible means to recover stolen property. I'm feeling a little peckish. Is there a KFC around? Ah! Let's wax this anti-porpoise.
Chase, don't do that.
See, we working on his brow chakra. We're just in back of the crown chakra.
All right, welcome to Waxing the Porpoise. We are back again, now on episode 37, here to discuss an older banger from 1971. This one's called McCabe and Mrs. Miller, starring Warren Beatty and Julie Christie, and directed by Robert Altman, who's a big director in his day as well. So, yeah, I'm excited to talk about this one. So, as usual, you got myself, Jim G-Baby. And of course, we have the usual suspect, Steve.
You know that bedroom at the top of the stairs?
Yeah, that was my room.
I think I'm turning that into my trophy room.
How about I burn the house down and piss on the ashes?
I meant on the golf course. How's it going, buddy?
Good, man. Good to see you.
Likewise. All right, and then back again, two-time returning champion, we have special guest Staring Jon.
Me sobering up. Alf.
Yes. Oh my God, that's perfect. Oh, great to be back. Great to be back. Staring it up. Happy to be here.
Nice. Good.
How
We're
did
glad
you?
to have
I
back.
don't remember you listening to that album. That's crazy. Where did you pull that? I mean,
I remember you. I think back when that came out, and you were super high on Slaughterhouse.
Yep.
And you showed me that song, and he's like, and you pointed that part out specifically because you know I was an Alf guy.
Yep.
And so that
That's
part's
right.
always stuck with me. Like I torture my wife and kids with that sometimes. Now I'll just be like, Alf.
Yeah.
Just like one of my
used to
tics.
torture everyone around you with that as well.
Dude, Alf is kind of slept on. He's got there's a special we just watched. It's like, it was in 96. They aired it on TV. It's like an hour and a half long movie with Alf. Dude, it's pretty good.
Oh, kill me. That was another one.
Dude, this is crazy. This is a nice setup. You guys are what, 37? And look at this, Steve. Your quality has gone up immensely, my man. Last time I was on here, you were so pixelated, and I couldn't hear anything you were saying. You look crystal clear. You look good. You're speaking into the mic. Look at you. You're a regular B-man now, dude. I like it.
Weird, because it's literally the exact same setup.
That's crazy.
So I don't know.
Jim's got a boom. Look at this. What the fuck is going on around here, dude?
This thing was only picked this up for like $30. It's
That's
just
nice.
It's a facade. I think we kind of gotten into a little bit of a flow here, and
For sure.
It's like a routine thing now. It's like a fun, I hate to say like a therapy sesh, but I mean for me it's like one of my few like outlets.
Totally.
You know, outside of the
I-
grind. So it's a nice relief valve.
Definitely get that.
It's funny. My wife sent me too. She sent me this fucking like a Twitter screenshot, and it was like this chick. She's like, "God, why do men just have to start podcasts instead of going to therapy?" And then underneath that, a dude replied back, and he's like, "Same reason bitches starting OnlyFans instead of getting a job."
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So my wife.
What if I could?
too? By the way, so I'm clear.
Hell yeah.
Cool. So yeah, we're glad to have you back. I'm especially stoked to talk about this film too, because I know you like. I don't know if it's like your thing, but I know you like older films, like Kool and Luke. You know, we have that in common, and I know
Yep.
you like some of the older Bonds and stuff too. So
Yep.
this is kind of in that era, like late '60s, early '70s kind of
Butch
stuff.
Cassidy, Sundance Kid, Little
Yeah.
Cowboys, all that stuff I watched with my grandpa. So I
Oh,
remember like
nice.
being at his house, right? And then that was one of the few things that we did often together. Be like, oh, watch it. And when I was real young, it just kind of was like, oh man, this is terrible. And then
Yeah.
you get a little bit older and you start watching. I'm like, oh, shit is actually really good.
Yeah. I kind of stumbled upon some older stuff by myself on accident, and I think the first one was Chinatown, whereas
Yep.
before I probably never would have given it a shake, you know. Even though it was made in the 70s, it's set in like the 40s, you know, like old-timey LA. So I guess at that time I just like old shit like that, you know, when you're so used to like the modern kind of stylish, and it just didn't really. I thought it would be stupid, and so this is like late teens, early 20s kind of era, and then I was like, that changed my mind, and I was like, oh shit, maybe I should like. Chinatown was dope. That was a big eye opener for me into like older films, and then this
Yeah.
one specifically, McCabe Miss Miller. When we lived back up in Paradise for a while there, me and my wife would go visit my father-in-law, her dad Ben. We'd go over and like make dinner, or he'd make dinner, and we'd have like a movie night, and he'd show us like an older flick. So that's how I saw like Dirty Dozen, and he would regale me with like Telly Savalas stories and shit. Like we'd watch like old reruns a couple times of The Night Stalker with Darren McGavin, the dad from Billy Madison,
Mm.
Oh, okay.
the dad from Christmas Story. He was in it. It was like an X-Files show. It was like Monster of the Week, but a little bit kookier, a little bit funnier, and he played like this private. Anyway, McCabe and Miss Miller was one of these films we watched one night, and it fucking like blew my mind. It like knocked my fucking socks off.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought, knowing Steve too, I thought I had an inkling that he would like this one. So we're here
Yeah.
to see, here to judge. I guess we'll just get it right out of the way up at the top. What'd you think of this one, Steve? Was this a go or no go?
I hated this movie very, very, very much
No way.
for several reasons. Some are just kind of, base layer, not too serious. I actually have 3 levels of hatred for this movie that I can go through one by one if you like.
Yes.
But sort of similar to what John was saying about my history with Westerns, I also haven't seen a ton of Westerns, just like I haven't seen a ton of movies. And my strongest memory of Westerns as a kid was my grandpa asleep in his chair watching Westerns all the time. That just seemed boring as shit. So it wasn't until I got older and started watching some of them that I also developed an enjoyment for them. But I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a huge Western fan, because it's kind of
Right.
like, I was thinking about this earlier, it's like for me Indian food, where I don't eat it very often because there's like a lot to it, but I like it a lot. But it's just not something I think to watch or eat when it comes time. So I really enjoy Westerns, the ones that I've seen, but I don't consider this a Western. I consider this an abortion of film. And I will start with my level 1 complaints, which are things that I personally didn't really care for, but I don't hold against the movie at all, because some of it is just the time. Like, the audio was fucking horrible. If I didn't have subtitles, I would have been lost 2 seconds into this thing.
Yeah.
The visual component was horrible. It was super dark, couldn't see shit, and I don't think that was my TV. I don't hold it against it. Could have been a stylistic choice. It could have just been.
It was. We'll get into that too. The audio and
I can't wait.
the visuals. The visual was a choice. The audio was a fuck up that the director owned up to. Actually, kind of just like matter of fact. So I like that about him, at least.
Huh.
But
Okay.
yeah, go on. Sorry.
Horrific. Another thing that I didn't care for at all was, but I'm not going to hold it against it, because
You have 2 layers to go of hate.
yeah. When it comes to
Hey.
when it comes to characters having an ambiguous backstory, that's fine if it later redeems itself. If if there's a character that you don't really know much about his past, but it turns out to be a good movie, it's like, oh, cool. I like that they kind of left it up in the air. When it turns out to be a shitty movie, in my opinion, it's like, it's kind of just one more thing about it that I don't like. Like, and I don't know if that's a byproduct of this being a book before it was a movie, because I could see that being the case where they're like, yeah, we're not going to go into all the backstory of both of these characters. We'll just keep it to a tight, slow ass 2 hours. So I won't hold that against it. Same with the sort of slow pace. I don't mind a slow burn, but kind of like the other thing I mentioned, it's got to eventually pay off in the long run. Like a movie like The Shining, you know, that's a super slow burn, but it kicks it in the end. So those are kind of just my superficial complaints that, again, if it ended there, that's fine. My second tier of complaints are, I thought the storyline was fucking uninteresting from beginning to end. I didn't think there was anything compelling about, cool, it's a frontier town where this guy blows into town and starts a whorehouse, and then a whore joins him, and then they make money, and that, like, there wasn't any story arc that I could find compelling at all. I thought the characters were dog shit. I was very interested in McCabe early on. He seemed like a really cool guy that might have an interesting past, you know, the gunslinger, you don't know where he comes from. And then he just kind of turns into a bitch later on, and it's unclear whether or not he actually was a gunslinger, if he was just some dipshit who rolled into town. Mrs. Miller, whore who came from somewhere else, just became whore in town, opium smoking lady.
The junkie.
Who, in their interaction with each other, I did not find compelling at all. Like when they started to become romantically involved, it's like, I don't buy this at all. I haven't seen anything that leads me to believe that either one of them like the other, except they're just in the same room. Yeah. And then, you know, she still makes him pay, which I felt attacked when I saw that.
Oh, I thought you would enjoy that part. I thought you'd be like, yeah, get your money, queen.
Yeah, I didn't mind it, but I just felt like, okay, I don't know.
It's a little too artsy fartsy for you, you think?
Yeah, well, so I thought they were going to go in like a romantic direction, but then when she paid him, it's like, okay, well, that kind of undermines that. But again, these are just level 2 complaints. My level 3 complaint, it's sort of one large umbrella that I guess I should qualify this. That's my cat. I will say 100% this is my bugaboo that I'm sure somebody who's sitting at home reading this week's copy of The New Yorker and is just pish-poshing my opinion on this classic film probably hates everything I'm saying, but I don't care. My biggest bone with this movie is that's my cat. Hang on. It's the thing I hate most in movies,
Just
which is
eats it across the room.
I would never. That was also another thing I didn't care for in this film when the guy picked up the cat and threw it.
And just I knew that one. You weren't gonna like that at all.
So
not let my calm demeanor fool you, Ranger.
Yep. My biggest complaint with this movie is we've talked about it before on the show, and I can never really think of a good example, but this is a message movie that is just a bummer from beginning to end intentionally, right? And I don't know.
Message movie.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
And I think it's a byproduct of the era, because this is like Vietnam
Definitely
era.
It for sure is.
People are just like bummed. And so when the movie starts, and there are some hard racial slurs, which I'm normally in favor of, but I felt like they were pretty egregious, you know? So I was like, maybe this is just a 70s thing. But then as the movie goes on, I realized this is intentional because it's trying to send a specific message. And when I brought it up, because I watched it on Prime, and when I was reading the little brief description, which was the only thing I read about this movie leading up to it, is I saw it use the term anti-Western. And I remember thinking, like, that's a very strange thing to say, or that's a strange description I've never heard before. But then as the movie went on, I realized, like, oh, this is like a condemnation of Westerns. This isn't a Western movie in the traditional sense. It's almost like they're taking the Western brand to task.
Yeah.
So the first thing I wrote or noticed was like all of these crazy racial slurs that I thought that might just be a byproduct of the time. In hindsight now, I think that was intentionally put in there to be like, can you believe this is the way we acted and the way we did things back then? And like the unbelievable over the top, and you can stop me at any time if you want. The super like in your face, heavy handed brothel sex trafficking theme. When you first see it, it's like, Jesus Christ, it's like he's at a grocery store and he's like, give me 3 whores and
3 chippies.
Give me a discount. I'm like, God damn, that is rough. But in hindsight,
yeah,
like,
give me 3 chippies, you goddamn butternut and muff diver.
Yep.
Yeah,
dude, I love that line.
I do have a feeling that some of the phrases and little quips and idioms
they
in this
send
movie
me over the edge,
just
and
tickle
I
your
think
fancy.
I think a lot of that cachet adds to my liking of this film on like a superficial level, but like I'll admit that. But on a real level, I do like this film like in a serious way. But that shit is that it's like perfect icing to me. Like so, like the way he talks, even, but some like the specific phrases he uses, like with the frog wouldn't bump his ass so much if he had wings.
Right.
But there's one particular joke he tells maybe halfway through the film that the first time I saw it, I like blew my ass out of the chair.
Please don't tell me it's the frog and the eagle story.
It is.
Yeah.
That blew your oh God.
Yeah.
It just reminded me of
it was like ejectocito cuz like Fast and Furious style.
That just reminded me of being a kid listening to one of my grandpa's like annoying fucking fishing buddies telling me some story, or the type of old guy that's like, hey, you see that over there? That's a hammer for. And you're like, what's a hammer for? And they're like, for hitting nails.
Or the poker in the front, liquor in the rear joke.
Yeah.
Like I had a friend whose dad loved that fucking joke.
Oh my God. Yeah. I have a theory that I want to float to you later. That's more of an idea. It's an idea more than a theory, but I think it's a really good idea, and it's pretty dark. So we can get into that later. But sure. I think the last point that I had written down that I felt like, and I don't know anything about this director, but I have a feeling I don't like him. And I don't
think you will now after you talking about this. And I watched a couple interviews of him before this.
I'm sure he's a blowhard douche.
No, keep going. I'll mention him in a sec.
I think the last little point that I felt was like a self-hating Western that I think this movie is the good guy loses in the end. He just gets killed and kind of in like a shitty way. Like,
yeah,
he just gets shot in the back and fucking dies out in the middle of nowhere. And when I say message movie, I don't know if people really understand or if I can fully articulate what I mean, but it's like, I enjoy movies and really, music and stuff like that as an escape from kind of the shitty stuff that's going on in the world. So like, or sports is a great example. I hate when I put on like a sporting event and they're like, all right, we're going to pause here in the 6th inning to talk about cancer. And it's like, fuck, this is why I watch sports, is to get away from, the sad things in the world. So a message
you
movie
hit me with one of those fucking St. Jude's commercials and I'm done, man.
Yeah.
I just think those ones fucking just wreck me. Anyway, sorry.
No. So I was just trying to more clearly make
yeah, you're trying to escape and not like get into it's like,
I don't want to put something
the ending
on
of this does fall flat. Like it's just like, oh, that's it. Fuck.
Yeah. Well, I feel like from beginning to end, it's like, God, can you believe this is how life was? And man, this is how people.
I didn't get
dude,
that
that's
vibe
so.
at all.
Yeah, me neither. That's so weird that's the one that's the train that you caught and like you rode with through this movie. Like I didn't
really put all that together until it was over, and then sort of looking back, like, oh yeah, they hit these themes pretty hard, and I think it was done more than just for the setting, like all the crazy racial slurs and the women getting kidnapped.
I took that at face value. Like that's just like a part of like, this is, they don't come out and say the year, but based on a couple clues, like of the era, you could get a pretty close guess. But the lawyer at the end mentions Williams Jennings Bryan. So it's during his lifetime. So I put it anywhere between like 1890 to like 1925. So this is kind of like late Western too, the time era.
The
You know,
use of
those
racial
things that you
slurs.
gripe about, like, yeah, I feel like those could have been just like, or I just felt like, oh, this is a historically accurate depiction of like how people talk during that time, and just moved on with my life and watched
Right.
followed the movie. And even looking back at it too, like I can see it now that you brought it up, but I wouldn't have. I'd continue to like not think about parts of the message in this. Like I just took it at like I said, face value. Like they built this world realistically. Like it felt realistic to me. So.
I mean, so those main,
Which is not
points,
wrong in my view, or that's the way you interpreted it and experienced this movie. So
I mean, it came across more like Blazing Saddles than it did like so like Josie Wales, you know, great Western.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like they needed to add in a bunch of heavy-handed racial slurs to make it feel period, you know, specific. But
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think what he's saying is like I don't think that was the intention of it. It was just like a picture of like I see what you're saying is to you're thinking of it as like bringing attention to something in that era. But I think it was more used for just like how it was at that time, not necessarily. To me, it was a small story that we're getting, right? And then it's just how that built up from that guy's background, from once where he rolls in and how it goes to, all the way to end scene, right? So I to me, it just seemed like it was trying to be really authentic in what it was doing. And I got that. Even it's funny because we talked about the dialogue, right? And how it's even with subtitles, there's so much of the movie that you just miss, that you don't even get.
yeah.
And then I was reading somewhere that I guess that's something that this guy does, Altman, right? Is like he's known for that like dialogue that just kind of runs over itself. And
yeah, like he wanted the language to be like authentic. Like in most movies, everything's like perfectly timed. You got to hit your line perfect, and it's all by design. Whereas the same thing he's talking about, like, you know, people interrupt each other and like talk over one another in different scenes, and he does add a lot of, you know,
it felt like genuine conversation to me.
Yeah.
Is like it didn't seem so much like a movie is kind of what I took from it. Is it's like he's really trying to capture like, well, this is what a conversation would have been like if you were walking down the street and you overheard two guys arguing over, you know, picking up prostitutes, like this is what it would sound like. I could be wrong about that.
No,
but that's,
No, I mean,
I get you.
The dialogue style didn't,
right.
believe it or not, that didn't make my list of complaints. So I didn't have any problem with that. It was just everything else. But
Yep.
Yeah, I get what you say too, because like I mean, there's a lot of like Native American Indian stuff going on in Josie Wales, and you know they didn't go out of their way to use ethnic slurs and, you know, like really berate them or disparage them, and it has the same effect. Whereas they could have just shown in the background the, you know, the Chinese rail workers and the mine workers in the background. You see them and understand this is the time period, and they're still, you know, being pretty much slave labor without the language. But to me, it's kind of a mix between you and John. Like I think maybe like there wasn't that much thought put into it, and he was just like flippantly like, yeah, okay, we'll address them as this, and it's part of the scene. Or maybe that was like a specific, like, no, we have to make this era accurate. Or maybe it was they were trying to do, you know, it's like one of the pick one of these three. Maybe they were trying to like make you think about and like the guilt of it, and really take stock in like how fucked up this was. I could see it either way.
Yeah.
I guess maybe subconsciously or not, I chose not to like take that from this.
if you remove all that,
Mm-hmm.
is the story of this movie even really that interesting though to you guys?
No.
I think it is.
For me, it was. I liked the movie. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I think I got myself caught up going into this because I was thinking Cool Hand Luke, you know what I mean? And then coming into this because we had a brief discussion and I didn't look up anything about the movie. And so I was like, oh, this movie's going to fucking blow me away. This is going to be amazing.
Oh,
and it was good. I liked it. But it wasn't that for sure. But
yeah,
There was lots of things that I thought it did really well. The we already kind of touched on the whole dialogue, but it felt like just good, good realistic settings, and a lot of the setups, like when the guy's coming around, when we talked about him picking up the girls and that pimp guy. What is it? He tells him, oh fuck, what does he tell her? He's like, I got I got more girls up here that do more tricks than a goddamn grapevine monkey on 100 yards. I thought that shit was so funny.
I was just
crazy.
picturing Jim like feverishly writing down all of these little old mannerisms. Like, oh, I love that.
Dude, I took a shit ton. Like, yeah, I took a whole notepad of shit from this. Yep. I didn't write that one down because it was so long, but yeah, he does.
Yeah, that one was
This dude's got a fucking $1 million
right, a fast mouthpiece. Comes into town. It's like he has that backstory, like you're talking about the gunslinger, and he's like, oh no, I'm a businessman. I'm a business. Like he goes out of his way to make sure that distinction is known amongst the other guys after they talk about it. And honestly, I thought the Mrs. Miller storyline to me was more interesting than McCabe's.
Yeah, she's got a wild story for sure that doesn't get told, but you can tell in some scenes like she's gone through some shit.
Oh, and she was very sharp, and they made that evident because from the first time that they meet, and she's like, "Yo, you McCabe?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's me." Blah blah blah. And he makes some fucking joke. I can't remember what it was. I thought I wrote it down, but I didn't. And then she goes, and she kind of like looks at him weird, and she's like, "Oh, yep, there's that frontier wit." And then they like go in and they sit down to have the dinner, and he's like, oh, pulls out her, and she's like, if you want to impress someone, you should wear better cologne than that cheap ass shit you're wearing. Like, she saw right through him right away. And it was my read.
I liked it in that specific scene. Like one of the few times where it was a little unnatural, but I still liked it, was those cuts with the little fucking like the old timey like banjo like violin shit. And when she hits him with that, like boom, like you should wear something better than cheap jockey shit, and he like pulls back and it's all like I liked that, but it goes against like this director's idea of like letting it flow and be natural. But I thought that was a cool moment because it's like, oh shit. All the way up until this point, like you were saying, Steve, this guy blows into town. He has his own felt. He lays it on, and he's like a gambling. He's like a hustler. He's real sharp,
fast talking card shark guy.
He's like, get these boys a bottle, and like, he's just wheeling and fucking dealing right out of the gate. And so, like right out of the gate, I didn't know what to expect, but it drew me into him. Like I like this guy. And then as soon as he meets this chick, Miss Miller, who's like, you can tell she's got quite a few more IQ points than this dude, and she's street smart and got that.
Right.
So it's like this moment where he's like met his match a little bit, like, oh shit. And then your opinion of him is like, oh, he's kind of, he's stringing this out, and he's not as sharp as he lets on, like, when you get into it. I liked that about this guy. And even through all the way to the end, like his arc, I like that he gets called out, and it's like, oh fuck, dude, he's getting like knocked down a peg or two. Like he does look like a bitch, especially after he talks to that dude Butler, that big old fucker.
Yeah,
like,
that guy was a G.
Dude, that scene,
he was my favorite guy in the whole movie.
Yeah, he was a beast.
Wasn't that scene tense to you? You didn't get anything out of that scene, Steve?
No, I enjoyed that. Yeah.
Which one?
When he goes up, McCabe thinking he's
trying to
still
like
got a way out.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I don't make deals.
Yeah. He's like, but don't you work for him? He's like, sometimes.
Yeah. And when he makes him go back and forth on the pricing, dude, that shit was great.
He's like,
he's
so
you guys really weren't that far off.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I guess we weren't. And he's like,
Yeah, dude, it's funny how much pleasure he takes in that. Like, it's like, dude, he's a cold motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm just up here to hunt bear.
That's right. Yep. And he saw right through dude too, because after he walked out, because that whole story, he's like, that guy's never killed a person in his fucking life.
Yeah. Whereas right at the beginning, I was like, oh, dude, he did kill that guy. And now he's an even deeper shit because this guy was buddies with his buddy who he killed. So But then at the end, it's like, oh no, he for sure didn't kill, and he just got bitched out. And now he looks even worse in front of this
Yeah.
guy.
Right.
Like he's just like,
Dude was just fishing with the
yeah,
local chatter that he had heard. Got and is like, oh word, I can run him up on this, and
yeah. I love-
totally caught him up there.
That's one of my favorite scenes in this film.
Yeah,
because
it's one of the better ones for sure.
I've only seen this film I think this is only my second watch, and I didn't remember this scene, but it put me right back there. I was like, oh fuck yeah, up all the way through the movie. It's like you get here, and then it's like because you don't know if he still is going to make a deal, or if he's still going to be able to make a deal. You don't know, first time going into it that it's like, no. Miss Miller was right. You're fucked, buddy. Like, you don't want to play ball with this mining company. We're in late Old West, but we're still in the Old West where shit like this can happen. Anyway, I think I jumped all the way to the end there. I think there's some stuff I still want to get into earlier on in
Definitely. Yeah. Well, and that kind of touches back on Steve's, like when Steve was talking about the messaging, like to me, I thought I wrote down the theme that I got from the movie is it was more about Miss Miller, right? It was about a woman in that time era who had the brains, but was also a junkie, like what she had to do, because she was really kind of puppeteering him around, right? Like throughout the movie, they make all kinds of references to it. Like the saloon he's trying to run is a flop. He's not pulling money in from that. It's all coming from the whorehouse, which is what she was running, what she set up. The whorehouse that he had before was just, the tents and
Bertha.
Those three chicks. Yeah,
So
I want to get into that too. That shit was 2 for 1 Lil, Pinto, Kate, and Almighty Alma.
Almighty Alma.
On their fucking that was on the top of each one of their tents. That shit was
he can't
hilarious.
even do like basic math.
Yeah.
Right. He couldn't. Yeah, exactly. So to me, it seemed like the movie was more about her and that theme. That might be kind of a hot take, but it seemed like it was showing you how women navigated the West.
I think
so
she was way cooler of a character that I wish they would have followed her more instead of just like kind of checking back in with her. And she also got paid more than any of the other hookers. So, she's
$5.
Versatile.
She had that golden punani.
Well,
yeah, that's great.
Just
Go
real
ahead,
quick, that scene where he has his like weird mental breakdown monologue in his room. Where that's where I was like,
is this where
I'm done. With
is this
this
where
guy.
he's talking to himself, or when he breaks down to her?
No,
oh, okay.
No, he's talking to himself.
Okay.
Yeah. God damn it! Just this once, I don't think I should have to pay.
Yeah. Dude, I thought that was cool, man. Like he's like, I got poetry in me. Like I thought that was a good performance.
I got sense not to write it down.
I just thought it was like,
yeah, no, it was a good scene. Yeah, and him amping himself up.
Yeah, I just mean like, as far as his character, I was like, I'm fucking done with this guy. He's full bitch mode.
Sure.
Damn. Yeah, honestly, I thought this was going to be a gotcha moment where you're like, yeah, I hated every part of this. And you're like, no, I loved it, or I liked it. You did that on one other film, and my heart sank to my asshole. And then now it's just stayed there. Like, honestly, I am pretty tripped out that you didn't like. I thought for sure. Like, I thought
you would like it.
I wanted to.
Dead to
I wanted to. I
like
just couldn't do it.
But no, that's cool, though. I mean,
we haven't had a good stinker for me in a while.
Yeah, and it ain't illegal to be wrong yet. So, no, everyone's got their own opinions about
when he's
things.
when he's going through town and he knows they're coming to find him to kill him, and he goes like, "I'm gonna go climb up the clock tower and check it out, or the church steeple or whatever, and take a look around. I'm gonna leave my gun at the bottom of the tower. This is a really good idea. I don't see how this could go poorly when I come back down and it's now missing."
I thought that just played to the fact that it's like, yeah, he really isn't a gunslinger. Like, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. The only thing he knows is that he's got to do something because he's in deep shit, and it's like, it's real now. It's like I could see that mistake being made, but it is convenient kind of for the plot of the film for that to happen the way it does. But I liked it too, because then it's like, oh fuck, he's not a gunslinger. He just lost his only gun. Now he's running around 3-to-1 with no weapon now. I was like, he's fucked.
Right.
But
I liked the cowboy character because I like when he first came in, you think he's going to be like a piece of shit, like somebody sent there to kill him.
Yeah.
And then he just turns into a guy who just wants to fuck hookers. He's actually
Dude, that was one of my
just like a
favorite
nice
characters.
dude. And then on his way out of town, he gets killed. Like, oh shit.
Gets fucked. That's so funny. I was just about to talk about that scene. Was so weird to me. Like, I just don't understand why that was I don't know what that did for the story at all. It was really confusing. This dude just got done fucking every hooker in town, about to hit the stop before he heads out, right? And then there's this fucking young punk kid who's like, "Oh man, I ain't even trying to shoot the barrel." That fucking blonde-haired guy was annoying as shit. And he's walking up to him, you know, and he fucking baits him into. He wasn't trying to fight him. He wasn't even trying to. You know, I don't understand how even when anyone in that situation, all those guys around him looking like, if he was doing it to try and look tough or to, you know, try and put on that he can gunsling, like, why you did it on a guy that openly admitted in front of everybody. There's like, I can't even shoot this fucking thing, dude. There ain't nothing wrong with the gun. It's the user. You know, the guy made several jokes about not being able to use his gun, and then you mow him down. Like, I don't know. It was just weird. What'd you get from that scene? I'm curious.
I just took it as like, he's like, okay, this is it just driving a wedge between the now Sheehan and his tavern is mining owned. These are mining fuckers, and they drew a hard line between that and, you know, McCabe's part of town and Presbyterian church. Like, this is the divide here. This is how, like, I thought it set up like, okay, these are the stakes. Like, if you didn't realize before, it's like, now it's a certainty we're into the third act, and these guys are gunning for McCabe for sure. They're gonna kill him. That's kind of how I read it, but I do agree it is a weird scene. It's a weird moment.
Well, because even that character doesn't go. I mean, like, that's pretty much all that you get from that guy. Is his only line that I really remember before that is him saying, "Oh, you calling his friend a liar?"
Yeah.
And then you cut to him shooting the ice and baiting the fucking nobody into killing him, and then now he's on the hunt with
it's probably a way of
the bigger guy
moving forward. Like, this is how evil these people are. So don't feel bad when this guy, the little henchman, gets shot in the back later.
This little fucking hair-lipped fucking Cabbage Patch looking towhead
motherfucking pie haircut looking freak. So at least
sucking back on Grandpa's little cough medicine there.
So like at least his character helps with the story a little bit. There was like the guy who had the mail order bride. And then Shelley Duvall, by the way, speaking of The Shining, fun connection there. When he dies, it's like, what does this have to do with fucking anything?
Yeah. That's another one. I don't know, other than maybe for her storyline, because I did think that was interesting, that she goes from this mail order bride and kind of the conversation again back to women navigating the frontier, where, you know, she didn't know what to do, so she ends up marrying this dude, has a place to stay, he dies, and then she goes into the whorehouse, and they have that conversation. She's like, shit, you were already doing this before. You were fucking him for room and board. Now you're doing it, and you get to keep a little extra money in your pocket. And, you know, so that was kind of my take on that character, was just like, this is like, these were your options back then.
You had to do what you had to do, kind of thing.
Well, it's funny because he died defending her honor, like, she ain't no whore. And then now he's barely in the ground, and she's like, I'm a whore.
That's a pretty cynical way of looking at it, but I don't know. I was thinking about it too. Like, while I was watching, I was like, why did this little mini storyline have to be included? Because it kind of muddles things. The only thing I was grasping at straws or playing gymnastics for this movie was the reason he dies is like the night before or whatever. Some like these fucking like a roving group of bandits or just assholes going through the road to the next settlement. You know, catcall it the whores or whatever, and they kind of get chased out of town. But in so doing, our old man Bart, I think is his name, he gets fucking paddled with like a club or something. It cracks his head, and he's like in a coma, and he dies 2 days later. So yeah, that doesn't have any bearing on McCabe's or Miller's story, but I think it does. Thinking about it now, I think it emphasizes maybe it tries to humanize this little rabble, like this little community in Presbyterian Church that, like, yeah, they are whores. They're sleeping with some of the people in the town, but they're still protecting their own. They're not like just feeding them to the wolves, like, because they could have just been like, yeah, come on in, we'll make some money from you. Like these really pieces of shit characters that probably would have maybe done something fucked up to them, like stole some horses or done something. But no, instead they kind of chase them out of town. Like, no, get the fuck out of here. Fuck you. Like, for not having any respect coming into the town. I don't know, that's doing the movie a lot of favors in filling in those gaps, but that's the only thing. Cause I was thinking about it, like, and they have the funeral. Were they just trying to pad this movie, or because that is an entire through line they could have easily lopped right off this flick.
Same with the lawyer. Like, why even add that in? Like, or
the
like,
you recognize the lawyer
guy who brought the hookers.
I did not recognize the lawyer, but I thought it was funny. It's like, oh no,
William
we can
Devane.
fight him and we're gonna win. It's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna go back up there and die.
I liked that little glimmer of like you can look at that and see like, okay, civilization is kind of coming. But it's not there yet. It's kind of a funky era of time that this movie's in.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, we'll fight him through the courts. And it's like, on the other hand, we're still in the Old West. We can go out in fucking middle of the street and settle your problem that way. So I kind of like,
and that's what he said. He's like, so how do I not die?
Yeah. And I there's a line that he says that I actually really like that I wrote down. The lawyer, what's he say? He's like, tell people stop dying for freedom. They ain't going to be free. And he he's got his own angle too, though, because he's got like designs on like, ooh, I can pick up this case and kind of make a name for myself or pad my resume. He's like, because I'm gonna be like at the beginning, he's like, I'm gonna represent you for free. He's like, I'm gonna be senator or governor of this great state of Washington next.
I thought he said he used to be a senator. Maybe I missed that.
Maybe
I
thought it was he
wanted to be senator. Like, that would make more sense.
He was
rather than the other way around.
Yeah.
Dude, what about his fucking wicked ass set of chops and that that fucking stash that could just choke a donkey? It was like,
who did you say the lawyer was?
That's William Devane, he's been in a couple things. He was in Payback with
Mel Gibson.
He's good in that. He's been in a ton of shit, but I thought it was fun to see him as a young buck because I've only ever seen him old. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting like little slice at like you can see like a different era of time is coming, but they're not there yet. And then yeah, it is weird because he gets all that info, and then he's like, yeah, I guess I'll go back and die, but I don't think he knows that.
That basically seemed like where it ended.
Like maybe he thinks he has more time, or I don't know.
Well, no, I think you can tell that he talked him into believing it because he goes back to Miller and like gives her the same lines verbatim. You know what I mean? He comes back and he's like, "No, what are you talking about? I'm gonna get my name in the paper. We're gonna be so big they can't do anything about it." So I think he essentially buys into it. But
then he knows that next morning when he wakes up, he knows something's off. You know, like right away.
What did something happen? I can't remember.
Well, I think he's looking around town and everyone's kind of like hiding. So
yeah, it's like ghost town. It's like something just feels off.
I think the townspeople know, like, oh fuck, I'm not going outside because there's a hit squad in town right now. That's what I thought.
Right. Today.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a little bit more sense too. But
did you catch the character's name? I don't remember his name at all, but it was the guy who was his friend. They end up becoming friends. He's the guy who's in the bar at the very beginning of the movie.
Goofy looking,
the taller dude.
Is it the goofy dude?
Yes,
and he kind of looks like Freddy Krueger without the makeup. Robert Englund. I don't know if you've seen him without the makeup.
A little bit, yes. And he's the guy who comes back and basically tells him no deal. Like he's like, yeah, man, they said that they tried, but they're no. It's only this
you're
guy.
Talking about that's Smalley. He was the one that was always kind of like he seemed even at the beginning. He seemed like a more like a higher like a
Yes,
more elite
yeah.
member,
Fancier clothes.
I thought you were talking about the barkeep
Yep,
Sheehan. Okay,
No,
okay, so
not yet, no.
his name is Mr. Smalley.
Is that
Who I didn't
Smalley,
write his
okay.
name down, but I've seen he's been in a bunch of other shit, and I know him from Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight. He gets a fucking.
You seem like a solid character.
They
It
didn't
sucks that
utilize
there was,
him
you didn't
very
really-
well. I mean, he in his name's like John something. I can't remember it, but he was a bigger name during that era. He was in a lot of stuff. So I think
John
he
Shuck.
definitely was underutilized. John Shuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of look like a young Ron Perlman.
Yes, he does. He's got the fucking cat mouth or the.
He looked like that guy from Deadwood to me. The one that rolled with.
I've never seen Deadwood.
I haven't either.
Oh, word. Well, he looks like a guy from that. He's I really like the line. He like comes to breakfast because you could tell his girl was Lil. You know, he was always beating Lil down. And he comes up there and she's serving him breakfast. He's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, I cook now. I'm through being a whore." And he's like, "Well, come on." No, I gotta get. I wrote the line down. Hold on, let me give it to you exactly because it was fucking hilarious. He's like, "No, I'm a cook now." He says, "Just think, you're throwing away all that good experience."
There are,
I like that.
yeah,
guy,
there are
dude.
a bunch of good lines from not just McCabe throughout.
All kinds. Yeah. And that was the part that drove me crazy with the subtitles because I have to watch everything with subtitles.
Yeah.
It's just like I have to. And I know there was so much during those like group conversations where it's like multiple people talking and then like, but it's focusing in on the action back here. Like there was a lot of conversations that were going on at the same time. And it's like, God
Yeah.
damn it.
I see all those things that you listed as faults for this, Steve. Like, that's like me. I liked it because of that. Or
That's weird.
Sometimes in spite of that. But yeah, I that's what kind of endeared me to this. Like, you know, I know it's real popular now to like do like the whole anti-hero thing, you know, and like, you know, it's not just like good and bad. It's like, you know, even sometimes in some of the films, like they try to humanize the bad guy and give you a little sliver, but not enough. And then there's the anti-hero who's like got a shitty backstory and it's like a redemption arc, or it's like with this, like, I feel like during this time period, that's kind of at play, but they're also not afraid to make McCabe look like a piece of shit or like a little pussy, you know, like, I mean, he gets bitched out after coming in with this swagger and you see him knocked down. I like that they didn't, you know, pull punches and like just make this guy like, oh yeah, he's badass all the way through the film. Especially at this like time period. But yeah, I'm still kind of like flabbergasted that you didn't like this film and the specific. And again, I'm not trying to come down on you or say like, why didn't you like this film?
It's okay.
I understand like how you pitched it. It's like, oh yeah, like you know, the way that you experienced this film and interpreted it, that's what you took from it. Totally cool. It's just the way I looked at it is like complete opposite on all of that. So I'm still kind of, even like the jokes, like I thought it'd be enough for you to be like, okay, I'm with McCabe.
Well, even like, I know you said you didn't like the way it was shot either, but I thought it was, there's a lot of those kind of like bigger open shots, right, of him like traveling through that I thought were really good.
I like the scenery.
The
scenery
darkness,
was nice.
Yeah, right, scenery. There are a couple of scenes where it was really dark, and that when I went back to try and look up stuff like facts about it and stuff, I thought it was interesting that they say he pre-exposed parts of the film before he filmed it. And that was to give it kind of like a more rougher look, kind of like a grainier look. And also, they couldn't do anything with it at that point since it's already been pre-exposed. Like, studios couldn't fuck with it at that point, which I heard was another part of the reason
like it was a creative control kind of piece, like him saying, like, I can't make any changes. The only way would have to be cost you way more money, and I have to go reshoot shit. So yeah, he kind of built in a little failsafe that way for which I mean, I kind of like that about this guy. He's definitely a character, like this director Robert Altman. He's like highly acclaimed. He's done a lot of shit in his career, and he's up there as like one of the great directors, or like that's how he's talked about.
What are some of
This
his finest works? Because I don't know the name.
So
Close Encounters of the Third
thought that was
Kind.
no.
Right?
No.
Oh, I'm thinking of the guy. I'm thinking of the Lutzberg, the guy who did the shooting, is who I'm thinking of. Zygmunt.
Yeah, Vilmos Zsigmond was his director
that's
of
what I'm
photography, or he was like his right hand man. But so Altman's claim to fame is MASH. It was a movie before it was a show, and it has a completely different cast. It's got Donald Sutherland and Elliot Gould. Actually, this is a kind of a fun piece of trivia. So, God damn it, sorry. I think I have the black lung, Pop.
Jesus
God damn it,
Christ.
Derek, you only been down there one day. Talk to me in 30 years.
Talk to me after 30 years.
It's like a jukebox one. It's gotta finish.
Who's winning the match?
State.
God damn it, Derek, you're dead to me. You're more dead to me than your dead mother.
Yeah. Or man.
Yeah, so critically acclaimed director Robert Altman, his most
we were
famous
talking about
credit is MASH.
MASH. Elliot Gould was in that. So you're a fan of Friends, Steve,
Sure.
as am I.
Monica's dad. Yep.
Monica's dad. Okay.
Yep.
Have you ever seen him in anything else?
Ocean's 11.
Like I'm talking old, like pre like 80 or 85, when he was like fucking on fire, strapping young lad.
No.
So he was in MASH. He's actually like he's done a lot of shit, man. He was in MASH.
Yeah.
Highly acclaimed for him. He followed McCabe Mrs up this film with another one of Altman's big films was The Long Goodbye, starring Elliot Gould. It's what is it? It's like one of those Philip Marlowe like film noir, like private investigator that's just kind of like a fucking bum, and like he's got a cat and he fucking smokes cigarettes, and he's always late on his fucking rent payment, and he gets into this like brilliant, kind of like Chinatown, but not as refined of a fucking dude as Jack Nicholson. He gets into like this big plot of intrigue and some wild shit. It's a really good film. That's another one of Altman's claim to fames. So it's like MASH, McCabe Miss Miller, The Long Goodbye, and Nashville. These are all like 69 to like 75. And then he came back later in like the 90s and did a bunch of stuff that was highly acclaimed as well. So,
Color
Yeah.
me unimpressed.
But yeah, I watched a couple interviews with him. He does seem kind of like he's not a conventional director. He kind of like, he plays along to his own music kind of dude.
Blowhard douche. Yeah. That's kind of the vibe I got.
Yeah. In some of the interviews, he seemed very willing to be self-deprecating, which I thought endeared me to him. Like he did not, he was like, yeah, that was on me. I fucked that up. You know, like he seemed pretty chill actually, while being a little eccentric. Anyway, so yeah, we've kind of danced around a couple of the plot points. Like this guy blows into town. Oh, another one I wrote down. It's like when we first get into McCabe and he's wheeling and dealing. He gets a bottle for these like 15 guys. He's setting up 5-card draw poker. And he's like, hey, Bart, you know how to square a circle? You shove a 4x4 up a mule's ass. Like, boom, right away. I was like, yeah, I like this guy. So then another part of this film, I don't know if I knock it. It's just it's a weird transition. It is weird that he just blows into town and you don't know anything about him. It's like, does he have money with him, or did he just come to this place and like this is his origin story for this phase in his life? He's like, I'm gonna blow into this town and try to make some money just real quick. But then he realizes, oh, this could be a good opportunity to like do this like mini expansion, try to get a stake in the tavern. They're building stuff. it's pretty unclear, because then it goes from that opening scene to, I don't know, days, weeks, months later, and he's kind of like this de facto like uh, sole proprietor of the town, or he's got a stake in almost everything. They have like one church, maybe a little like grain store or something, and a restaurant, whorehouse tavern. And he's kind of at the like he owns all of it. He's cool. He's buddy. It seems like, with the whole town, and he goes into town. He buys three prostitutes. He's got that going. It is kind of weird how they just go right from that to that. I will. Well,
there was so much range in his stupid character that it made his fall later so much worse. Because he comes to town. And he's like Mr. Smart Guy, sort of taking advantage of the idiot townsfolk. And then it turns out like, oh no, he's also just dumb as shit. So
yeah, he's seen an opportunity, and he's playing it out.
But yeah, it would be nice to know, like, where did this money come from? Did it come from his previous career? I can't imagine he's just a card cheat stealing money from all these people because they would kill him.
No.
Yeah.
And he did have a story. I mean, because it's not like he meets Sheehan in that moment. It's not like he knew that guy. You know what I mean? Like, or at least that as I was watching it, this is what I thought. He comes in here because everyone's asking about him. Because I think at one point he even asked. He says, his name's McCabe," and he's like, "McCabe, the guy who shot
John Pudgy McCabe."
He's like, he didn't say his name, and he's like, "Yeah, McCabe, yeah, blah blah blah." So he clearly has some kind of background, or at least reputation that he's got going for him. So
fair.
My read of it as I was watching it is, okay, he's already kind of scoped this town out, and now he's coming up here because he's kind of having that dialogue with himself as he's coming into town. You know what I mean? He's getting off the horse and he's like, "Oh, there's goddamn 6 of you." "Yeah, that's what I'll say." "That's what do you mean? There's only 6 of you." And he's like kind of like chatting with himself, right? And then he gets in there and he fucking rips out his own poker table, gets it all set up, gets everything, gets rolling, gets the beer, like, getting friendly with the guys. So I was thinking he's scoped this town out. He's come in here to see exactly how fucking dumb these people are. He can deal cards. Okay, so boom, he does this and knows he can set up a whorehouse here and take it down. Like, I think that he had that goal in mind all along. At least that's what I thought as I was watching it, because he seemed to kind of already have the plan formulated. Like, he knew he wanted to talk to that guy for the chippies.
Yeah, so he's got a cursory lay of the land. Yeah, that's a good point to bring that stuff up. And another thing that I like, that endears me to this character and this film as well, is when he first blows into town, and then subsequent to that, like, they don't play him as a complete dick who just sees all these people as like ways to get ahead. He sure does that, but I feel like there's enough moments, even at the beginning, he's like wheeling and dealing to get a bottle, and he's like, you $3. He's like, "I'll cover 2. You'll get a percentage of this," and just the way he's like, "Hey, get these boys a bottle," like, he's not a complete fucking asshole. And I think at least maybe to the halfway point of this film, I feel like, whether he would admit it or not, or if you want to throw him that bone, I feel like he's not just cold-hearted and looking out for himself 100% in that town. I think he's got kind of a stake that builds up, even though, like, he is looking to sell. There is a figure, but that's like his, like, dream, like, goal. He didn't see the mining company coming in. He was playing his hand and trying to build this thing up in Presbyterian Church. But then things change once the mining company comes in, and
Miss Miller,
then he sees that as a potential jumping off point.
Yep.
Yeah, because she even said at one point, like, she did. I knew they were coming, or something, like.
Yeah. So the next scene too I want to get into is when the mining company actually comes in to the picture and starts talking to McCabe. And at this point too, he's pretty fucking pissed. Like, he's got to be like 3 sheets to the wind. And then he goes in and he starts drinking more. And the mining company's like, "Hey, we're real interested in all your holdings, everything. We want to come mine and basically buy out the town." So it's like a company town, like McCabe's like sitting there. He's like, "Oh, I'm suave as shit." He's like, I'm drunk also, so I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna play this super hard, and they come at him with like $5,500 from the
Yep.
MH Harris and Shaughnessy Mining Company, and that's when we get. I'll stop after this so you guys can interject, but my favorite joke in the movie is McCabe says, "Say, you boys know about the frog that got ate by the eagle." He says, "There's this big old eagle. He swoops down, gobbles up the frog. Frog's inside of the eagle. They're way up in the air, and the frog's working his way back through the eagle. He looks out the eagle's ass and says, 'Hey, eagle, how high up are we?' And the eagle says, 'Well, we're up about a mile, 2 miles.' And the frog says, 'Hey, well, you wouldn't ship me now, would you?" Dude.
Yeah, and the look on the two guys' faces who were like,
like,
yeah, that's
yeah,
hilarious. That was me
good.
the entire time.
Dude, like, I don't know if it was just like the time that I was watching that, and like I wasn't expecting it, and it just kind of, I was like, I'm a sucker for those kinds of jokes too anyway, but yeah,
Right.
the way I really like the way Warren Beatty plays this. Like he's got like it's a weird accent too. It's not like a full Southern like generic Western kind of drawl. It's got some nuance to it, and he's also got like a gold tooth on like one of his front incisors that kind of gives him a little Texas whistle, like weird kind of thing, affectation to his voice. Yeah, I just like the way I liked his character that they incorporated. Like he's always got these one-liners, and he's kind of flying by the seat of his pants.
I kept thinking he kind of looks like Ethan Hawke.
That's not one that jumps right to my mind, but I guess I could see it. Maybe
initially I thought it was the guy from Alien, the first Alien. I thought that's what it was.
Tom Skerritt,
the captain.
Dallas.
Yeah. Like a young Tom Skerritt.
I
was like,
that.
Oh, damn, that's him.
No, this is Dick Tracy. Or Clyde from Bonnie and Clyde. No, I'm talking Warren Beatty. Tom Skerritt played Viper in Top Gun. So what do you guys think of this scene with the mining company and how he plays it? Like, just total idiot, or would you play super hardball too?
No, I that's kind of the whole dilemma. I think like I think that's fucked up. Where it's like a place comes in and it's like, hey, we're gonna give you $5,500, and like even if your plan was to sell it, to say no and be like, no, I'm good. And then they come back like, all right, well, $6,250, wherever they land, right? And he still is like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Right. It's like his options at that point then were like, well, get fucked and die, and we'll take it anyways. Where it's like, what if he really had no intention of selling and he just wanted to hold on to the land? You know what I mean? He's like, no, I got a pretty good setup here. I'm making good money. Like, I'm cool. I'm just going to keep what I have. And it's like, well, sorry. We're just going to fucking
Is that
kill
part
you
of like the message
sucks.
part for you, Steve? Like he came back and like, why do they got, but what if that's realistic? And like, I didn't feel like they were trying to play it dramatically or for like they're clutching their pearls. Like, see how fucked up this is. Well, to me, I took it's like, yeah, that's fucked up. And it's like, we haven't been super civilized for very long, and even now we're fucking not either.
Right, not that far.
So that I don't know. That's just the way I took it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can feel in one hand and shit in the other, and see which one fills up first. But but yeah, I did think that was one of the other underlying themes that I didn't really want to get into too much, because it's kind of like the big bad business people coming into town and bullying people.
Yeah,
it's if you wanted to be really sort of historically accurate, they would sort of have a tough. They would have a tough go of it. Like, yeah, the big company might not offer, but there would also be like a lot of people there willing to kill you if you tried to come in and take their shit. Like it wouldn't be as much of a pushover as McCabe is in this movie. Like, please don't take everything from me and kill me. There'd be a bunch of people there like, no, fucking let's go. Come on. One thing I wanted to mention before I forgot is I was very confused about the value of money in this movie at several times, because there was like a potato for a penny. You could rent a room for a quarter, you could get a hooker for $5.
That was the highest tier hooker.
Right.
Pricey. That's the
But
pricey.
I think
pussy.
everything else was $1.
But the guys were getting paid 15 cents an hour.
After a full day's work.
Right.
in the
But then they were
shaft.
betting single dollars up to $5. And I just thought there was a lot of disparity between the, how far does $1 go back then is my question.
Sure.
And
sure.
also,
hot potatoes for a penny.
My last complaint for now is the music in this movie was absolutely fucking abysmal. I hated it so much.
The music is. Let's do this now. Can either of you get to Bill Paxton?
Oh boy. Let's see.
Think on it. We can continue and get to it later if you want.
Keep
But you can do it
in the background. Is it small hint? Is it related to the music because that you got triggered by the music? Okay.
Yes.
Damn it.
I don't even have a starting point because I didn't look anything up because I was too upset and I felt personally attacked by this movie.
I thought, I was like, man, it's a advantage player coming into town to clean up the. I thought you would love this guy.
I wanted to. It seemed like a card shark gunslinger coming into town, and then he just turned into like a mentally ill crybaby bitch who dies.
And it was a small story. It was a very, very small. Like I get, it's like this guy comes into town, sets up an enterprise. Meets this hooker who is a junkie, and it's like that's the arc is in that story. So it's not like a typical, where you watch the rise and fall of several different people throughout different aspects of life. Like this one felt to me like it's you're looking at about a 2-year time span of this story in totality.
Can you give us a leadoff hint for the music to Bill Paxton?
Yes. Leonard Cohen is the guy who did all the music.
Let's see. He's Jewish, so is Cedar Sinai. That's where Bill Paxton died. Thank you.
Move.
Damn.
Perfect.
Nice.
Leonard Cohen did the one of so I got there.
Guy? Okay.
I don't think so.
Never mind.
Maybe. I don't know. I just know he did one of the he did the theme song for True Detective.
Oh shit.
Mahershala Ali was the lead in True Detective, who also was in Hunger Games. Who was with
who the fuck is?
Oh my god, I can't believe I'm blanking.
Woody Harrelson?
Mahershala Ali.
He was in
Ali? Oh,
season 3 of True Detective, which I don't think you've seen that season. I think on the podcast I was like, I
didn't even think there was a season 3.
Oh yeah,
season 3 is really good. See, I like season 3 more too.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the guy who passed away. I cannot. He OD'd. You guys talked about it. And Twister. He's the blonde. Yeah, Jesus Christ. So Philip Seymour Hoffman from Hunger Games into Twister.
Okay,
Bill Paxton.
I'm too dumb.
Yeah,
for that game.
Had that one cocked and ready for you.
Yeah, I was trying to bounce off of Warren Beatty and Dick Tracy because there was a shit ton of people in Dick Tracy.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure there's a quick route.
I got one.
That's just
Shelley Duvall in The Shining with Jack Nicholson.
Yep.
Who's in As Good as It Gets with Helen Hunt. Twister. Boom.
Nice.
Yep. Well there you go. Holy shit, Steve, you fucking barbarian, dude. You are a cinephile, dude.
It just happened to be like the 7 movies I've ever seen, all combined into one.
Okay. So we talked a little bit about Miss Miller. I want to just brush over her. I have a little bit of trivia on her too. So like her name is, she's the actress is Julie Christie. And when I heard that, I was like, oh, like my mind automatically wanted to go to like fucking Mary Poppins for some reason. But I know that's not her. But I knew she was British. And she
is that
was
Julie
like highly
Andrews?
acclaimed.
Is that who you're thinking of?
Probably just the name Julie.
I don't know.
They were
I'm like
British.
Julia Child.
I'm sure that's what it was. But either way, this Julie Christie, actually, she has more in common with, like, the more I read about her, like, she was like a UK version of Jane Fonda, who was it. She was an actress. She was in a lot of things, and she's a highly acclaimed actress. And she also had like all these causes, like world hunger, and I think too something with animals. I think she was like rights for animals and like anti-poaching. So she did a lot of like humanitarian and kind of philanthropic things, and so did Julie Christie. Like later, like at the midpoint or maybe later in her life, I thought that was interesting. But she's actually like a 5-time or 4-time Oscar nominated actress, and she actually won the Oscar in 1966 for, I can't remember what the film's called, but she was also nominated for Best Actress award for McCabe Miss Miller in 1972, which I thought was wild. I mean, I think she did a great job, but like thinking back on it, I'm like, was it Oscar worthy? I don't know. I mean,
No.
Yeah.
But I thought she had a lot of layers and like
Must have been a lean
like,
year. I wonder what her competition was.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see too. But
what I read too is that the movie is pretty high. It's known like it's considered a classic, I guess, right? I mean, everything I'm reading is it's like the way it was shot, the director, the dude who actually shot it, right? And now her, nominated for an Oscar. Like it definitely had. It was a big title and had.
I've seen
had
it mentioned
people
as like
behind
a
it, for
lesser
sure.
classic, like a low tier.
Yeah, I think that's a.
I mean, it's got good ratings
yeah.
on. It's got pretty high rating on IMDb, which is a pretty good barometer if something's like actually good or really fucking sucks, as opposed to like Rotten Tomatoes, in my opinion. I think it's got like a 7.8.
I feel like everything on IMDb is between like a 6.8 and an 8.2.
I think that's good though, because it like really like it's got to be fucking super exceptional to be actually good. Like, I mean, Shawshank's one of the few that's like in the high 90s, and it's remained there for like at least a decade, So
sometimes when you look at like Rotten Tomatoes, you'll see the critics have it at 95 and the people have it at 50, or vice versa. I was surprised.
That's not really a good barometer though, because they're not actually rating that. It means like that's the percentage of critics that thought it was good, so they could be better than 50% as being good, or 60% or whatever.
No, I get that, but what I mean is like sometimes you'll see that huge disparity between the people and the critics or whatever. I was kind of surprised to see this one. It was pretty tight on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's like 86 and 84 or whatever it was. I was kind of surprised because
damn.
Oh dang.
Yeah. Because it was so bad, I should say. That's why I was surprised.
They say that guy would have been nominated, the guy who shot it, the Zygmunt, but he wasn't. Some of the trivia stuff that I read, he wasn't part of any association. The ASC he ended up being a part of in 74, I think it was, or 73. Otherwise, they say he would have won an award for it because everybody talks about the way it was shot, how good it is, and how the actual cinematography of it. And then he ends up getting a part of that association, and then he does win the award in 78 for Close Encounters.
Oh damn!
And they were like, well, he probably would have won it for this too, but he was kind of like shunned because he wasn't in any of these. He wasn't part of
a union hit job,
a guild, I guess, or some kind of
motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Oh, one other thing too about this film that I liked, and it kind of I don't know if I'll add it to the bucket of like anti-Western, and here's why. I thought it was interesting that most Westerns, it's like you're out in like I don't know Arizona or Texas and it's like flat and it's dry. There's tumbleweeds. It's fucking desolate. Or
you're out in the West,
Mexico. Yeah, but this one they're in like the Pacific Northwest, and so like especially at the end too, I feel like the environment adds a different dynamic to like because not only that it's fucking snowing, but it's like the terrain is different. They're kind of like up in the hills, up in the mountains, like think like gold country kind of settlement. But that morning where all the shit goes down in the last act, It's like there's shit ton of snow. It's like at least fucking 4, 5, 6 feet, and it's coming down the whole time. So
Yeah.
I thought that was an interesting in the lens of Western, anti-Western. This movie is at play, and it's a stark contrast to like most Westerns you think about, which I liked. And honestly, like at the end, like I like that, you know, he just gets murdered unceremoniously, and I like kind of, it was like a gut
Yeah, I'm
punch,
with you.
because to me, I bought the relationship of Miss Miller and McCabe. Like I bought that, like he he wants to move with her. He wants to go set up shop. She's talking about going to like Portland and going to like where it's like more civilized, and they're kind of like out in this periphery. And like I feel like the feelings that they're having, like it's definitely, he definitely is way more into her than she is into him. She's got her own problems and shit, but I feel like
Yep.
given the opportunity, they would have made that jump. They would have gone. And so when you realize before McCabe does that, like, yeah, shit's gonna hit the fan, and it's not gonna be a happy ending, and it delivers on that kind of that warning sign, or that ominous nature of the film. I like how it doesn't fucking pull it back
Absolutely.
and see like, yeah, it's happy, makes it out. This like not clearly not a gunslinger dude, and trumps this 7-foot badass named Butler that's just like a killer. I like that it plays it pretty straight. Like, yeah, this is, although it does give you that little like gotcha at the end when he's holding that like Saturday Night Special, that little ass like $2 pistol. But I like how
Yeah,
they didn't linger on it. Then it's just like real quick, and it's like, yep, gotcha. He's like one more trick up his sleeve, you know,
Yep.
and then he's just like, yeah, and the townspeople in the background, the church is on fire. And then they have their own little side plot where they put it out, and it's like they've done something
Yeah.
together as a town. They're rejoicing, juxtaposed with over here, McCabe's gone through this shit and he's just dead and he's getting fucking snowed on. And it reminded me, like I was thinking about, because Shelley Duvall was in this. I'm sure that's why it was in my brain. I was like, oh, Shiny. And it was like, he goes out just like fucking old Jack does at the end, just getting fucking snowed on, freezing like an icicle while, you know, these people get to go to freedom. They've saved their church. But yeah, I liked all of that about this film, and especially this last act was pretty. It felt tense, you know. It wasn't action packed. It was kind of like this guy just like a slippery ass trout, like trying to scramble his way out of this. And I felt like I was right there with him, like, oh fuck, you don't have a gun
Right.
now. The fucking priest took your shotgun. What the fuck are you gonna do now? You know, like.
Yeah. Fucking priest. Why is it Mrs.
Origin
Miller?
unclear again.
What do you mean? Why?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Why is it Miss Miller?
You definitely don't get.
Huh?
She's not married. She doesn't got a man. Why is it
Good
Mrs.?
point. I don't know. Maybe she just wanted to add some like, yeah.
Because it seems intentional. I just am curious. I mean, there's got to be something. Right?
I would bet you any amount of money that it's in the book,
Sure.
even though there
Have
was
time to flush it all out.
plenty of time in this movie.
Yeah, it was. It was a good flick.
I apologize for overhyping it, and in hindsight too, I shouldn't have compared it to. I should have put a caveat to like the Cool Hand Luke, that it's more just like a film during that era. Like it's not. I think I oversold it in
Totally.
that regard,
Yeah.
but because it's a
To
very
me,
different film.
'cause
But
I didn't like Cool Hand Luke either.
Yeah, we know. Chill out.
well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, at least on a just like a basic, a surface level. And Steve, you did not.
Yeah, totally. And it's right because Steve, you said you're not a big Western guy, but you guys went on a Western tear, didn't you? You did like 4 or 5 Westerns in a row that you liked.
We had some good ones. Yeah.
Yeah, those were like, to his credit, they were pretty cream of the crop, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Western, like all time, that really no one argues against.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood, right?
Yeah.
You did the trilogy.
I'm curious about this. Have either of you seen, and specifically to you, Steve, have you seen Unforgiven from
No.
'92 with Morgan Freeman? And okay, I'd
Nope.
be interested to hear your take on that one because that's one I don't feel like lives up to the hype, and I didn't like when I watched it. It kind of fell flat for me because that's like one of the. I think it was filmed in '92, so at that time it was like a resurgence. Maybe not like genre wide, but like Clint Eastwood just plopping out this Western at that time. It
Yeah.
was kind of like it was a more modern jump from like the films in the 70s. Like it looks totally different than even one of his films, like Fistful of Dollars or Outlaw Josie Wales. It looks like a modern film, like a film from the 90s, like the grain, the film stock and everything. But the story I just didn't care for. It's just like, and it's hyped as like, oh, one of the best Westerns of all time. You got Clint Eastwood, Morgan Freeman, but
What is it? Outlander?
it's called Unforgiven.
Unforgiven. So I dead ass. I was like, I don't remember at all.
Like to me, it's like I'd much rather it's like give me open range over that any fucking day of the week,
Yeah.
or even Tombstone. Fuck it. I'd even go so far as like
Tombstone.
Young Guns. Like that's just a good time. But all right,
Yeah, I heard the new Magnificent Seven was that like 5 years ago was pretty bad, even though it has a
I like
all-star cast. I haven't seen it, but
I watched a piece of it and I wasn't blown away, and evidenced by I never came back to it or tried to finish it. But
you
it
like
is
it,
weird because
John?
I love Denzel. I like
I'm pretty honestly though. I'm pretty easy going on. Like I had a friend who was the most fucking obnoxious person in the world when it came to movies, and we would go watch a movie and we'd get out, and if this movie didn't fucking change his life, then it was a dog shit movie. And it's like, I'm not rethinking my entire life. This movie was trash.
yeah.
And it's just like, so he made me like it. I like a lot. Like it's pretty hard for me to not. I can very easily find something from a movie, even if it's a bad movie, and be like, it wasn't that. I liked it because of this.
Right.
So I say I like a lot, but I did like Magnificent Seven or whatever it was called.
Well, I think that's a good mindset to have. I think it's better to go in with positive expectations than the opposite. Even though I just shit all over this movie.
Yeah, no, I mean, at least you went in with, I think you say you're pretty good about giving everything a fair shake, right?
Yeah, I try.
Every movie you go into, you're like, well, I'm going to watch it and see how I feel.
I want to like them.
Yeah, it's good though because I was kind of clouded by like me. My thought of this was like, I thought this is invincible. Like he'll like it for sure. Like this is a banger. But
yeah, it seems like it would hit all the right boxes for sure.
Yeah, and I think there's been a couple other movies that I was wrong about that you have not liked. That I think this is another like wake up call. Hey, all right, I need to.
I think
add
there's
a
only
little bit
been like
more.
one or two that I haven't liked, right?
Yeah, where did you fall on Blade Runner again?
Hated Blade Runner. It was dog shit.
And what was the one you guys didn't record?
Highlander.
Well,
Highlander.
we tried to record it, but
I didn't hit the record button.
Yeah. And you didn't like that one, Steve?
no, I liked it. It was fine.
Oh, I can't. Oh, okay. I thought I remember it being Blade Runner and Highlander for some reason, and I was like, oh man, the two things Jim really
It's
loves.
the fucking burbs that people are freaking out about, but
That's right, the Burbs. That's right.
so
I was pretty shocked that you did not like the Burbs. Like I really was because I know you like, or I feel like you like Tom Hanks well enough. So I thought
do.
that would be enough to carry you through.
I mean, it's fine. It's not like
It didn't change my life.
yeah. So this movie, I not only didn't like, I actively disliked it. The Burbs, I just thought was like, no, that's just I didn't care for it. I get why people like it.
Wow, so you liked, if you had to compare those two, I know it's apples to oranges, but if you had to compare the Burbs and this, you had less of a bad time watching the Burbs than this?
Oh yeah.
Would you say?
1,000%.
Wow, that blows me away even more.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean it was dumb, but at least it was kind of funny. This movie was dumb and upsetting.
And kind of funny.
And upsetting.
All right. Well, yeah, I just checked the stats here. It looks like it's dropped me down. Previous, we were at you liked 22 and disliked 4. So that gives me an approval rate of 84.6%. So now we're down to an 81.5%.
Do you have those specifics? Like, can you tell us the 4G, baby?
Yes. So in order, it was Blade Runner.
And that math doesn't
Yep.
make sense. If it's 4 out of 22, that should be 88, right?
You're the advantage player, not us, dude.
Well, no, because we've watched 26 movies total. Of the 26, you've only liked 22, you disliked 4. So that
26.
was how I arrived at my approval rate.
Oh,
Unless
okay.
my math's just way wrong. I don't think it is, though.
What were the 4 that I didn't like? Blade
Um,
Runner,
Blade
Burbs.
Runner, The Burbs, Versus, which I was pretty sure that you weren't going to like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it sucked.
And then Possession, which probably not
Yeah,
a
but-
stretch too, but I thought there was enough. I thought there may have been enough that you thought it was like weird enough that it brought you to the
Well,
other
and you
side.
had mentioned that Possession wasn't, you had disliked it, but it wasn't, it was closer to being liked than disliked.
Yeah,
right?
it was right on the boundary.
Word.
If we had had subtitles, I think I would have liked it. So
All right.
I would still
fair
put your
enough.
batting average pretty high.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see.
The colloquial corner.
Do you guys have any other sayings or phrases that you've heard recently that you either like or hate or you want to bash on?
Dirty word. I had somebody say the other day, and I thought that was absolutely amazing. It was this older gentleman. He was coming in to do some work on one of the machines, and he'd been working on it for like fucking 6 hours and could
he
not figure it out.
He was inserting
And
this
he's,
as a clean way.
I was like, dude, this is getting fuck. I was like, this sucked. We got to get this rolling. He's like, I don't know, man. And he's trying all these things. He's scratching his head, and he's like, dirty word. Just kept going. I was like,
Is this that same piece of shit from Massachusetts?
no.
Different
no, it's
machine?
not. Yep, different machine. That guy is. It depends on what you're doing. So when you come over here, it depends on what you're doing. If you're gonna run something this way, you got to do it this way. Otherwise, you don't know what you're doing. Yeah, that guy was great.
I've heard a variant of that. I've heard someone ironically say dirty fucking words when they were working on something that was really giving them hell.
Yep.
Working on a car. Steve, you got anything?
Yeah. So going back to what I had prefaced earlier about a super dark idea
Yeah.
that I think
Please
is a
do.
good thing for people. So I hope you're ready. So I think we can all agree that child pornography is bad, right? Okay. So I think we can also agree that theft of personal property is bad. So if I'm walking down the street and somebody takes my wallet, that's bad. But if I call the cops and say, hey, this guy just stole my wallet, they're probably going to say, well, awesome, good luck. Sorry about that. We'll look into it when we can. But here's my idea. So if I take every somewhat valuable item I own, like my phone, wallet, laptop, whatever, and put an Apple AirTag in it, right? Is that what it's called? A little like tracking device.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if I do that, and then I also take a naked picture of myself as a child, which I have, and put that in every item I have, okay?
Yeah.
If it gets stolen, and I call the cops and say, hey, some guy stole my phone,
Oh my
and
god.
they say, oh shit, sorry, we'll do the best we can. If I say, I have reason to believe this person is also possessing child pornography, they're going to go after him because it's not against the law for me to have a naked picture of myself as a child, right?
I don't think so.
Yep. Thank you. But it is for them to have it. So ipso facto, don't steal.
Right, guaranteed you're gonna get your wallet back.
I think you've opened yourself up.
And they're going to go to jail, not for taking my wallet, but for being a fucking
Pervert.
pederass. Yeah.
Right.
I think they'd be able to
sound plan.
pretty easily decipher like where that file came from. Like
No,
on the AirTag.
hard copy, brother.
A hard copy, like a photograph.
Sure.
Right, they're just his baby donger, dude.
Yeah. I've got pics of me as a kid covered in chicken pox.
Turtle paw.
Front and back.
I guess it just seems weird.
As
I
a
feel
father,
like,
don't you think that's a good idea?
I just feel like as an investigator, I'd be like, where did you get a picture of the guy that you stole this from?
Yeah, great.
No, it's a picture of Steve, I thought.
Yeah.
Right, but when they find the thief,
Sure.
like, would you ever cop to like, oh, okay, so you could just say, oh, that's not me. You wouldn't admit to like, oh, that's me. That's just some random.
Like, I don't know. This guy just has child porn on the phone that he stole from me.
Gotcha. I'm thinking somehow
it's the perfect
at the digital
crime.
level, they'd be able to tell that it was you or that it came from your computer. But yeah, if you're doing a hard copy, then it's like, I feel they would open up though. Like, how did you know that he had this? Or how did you know that he was in possession of?
You're like, I don't know.
I feel like
I had a fucking gut feeling.
I don't know.
Man.
The guy who pulled a knife on me and said, give me your phone. He just seemed like a guy that would have child porn with him.
He said, give me your phone and all the child pornography you had.
Yeah. And so, I gave him most of it, but I'm gonna hold some back.
I had the phone, so I believed he received the rest of it from somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever heard. There's been stories out of like LA where people call the cops like, "Hey, this guy stole my laptop," and they're like, "Cool, we'll get to him when we can." And so they lie like, "He pulled a gun on me," and they're like, "Oh fuck! All right, now we have to go check it out."
damn.
So it would be a good way to be like, "This guy stole my wallet," and I have reason to believe that he is currently in possession of child porn. Without telling him.
Wouldn't you get like, for something like that though, if like, oh, buddy pulled a gun on me, wouldn't you get like fucking Jussie Smollett on that?
Yeah, I saw a clip actually recently of some people that got fucked doing that. Because like that was like a loitering issue, right? This guy was filming something. He was like on the sidewalk. I went down a fucking YouTube rabbit hole. I can't believe I'm gonna admit this, but I was watching videos. What was it? It was military reunions that make you cry.
Hell yeah.
And then I just kind of started getting into other videos from there. You know how it goes.
Yep.
And so then I ended up on police being owned.
Sure.
And so there's this one guy who does who he like takes these clips of people doing these things, exercising their rights, whatever it is. Well, this guy was on the road and he's filming this like fucking mill.
This is what we call a First
it.
Amendment audit, is what you're talking about.
Yes, yes, exactly. That is verbatim what he called it, actually. Yes. Yeah. And so he's out there just fucking filming, and the guys come up and they're like, "Hey, turn your fucking camera off." And he's like, "No." And he's like, "This is private property." He's like, "That's great. This is the sidewalk. It's public. I'm fucking right here."
Yeah.
And so, long story less long, they call the cops. Cops are like, "Yeah, if he's on the sidewalk, don't be so fucking sensitive, I guess."
Yeah.
And they're like, "He's waving a gun around, I think."
Oh,
and they're like,
fuck.
"You think, or is he?" And then they hang up. Some other lady calls like, "There's a man out here filming and he has a gun." So they're like, "All right, fucking A." God. So they drive out there and they're like, "All right, where's the they're like, "Sir, we got to patch it down, whoop-de-whoop." And he's like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead, go through it. I know my rights." And they're like, "Okay, that's great. We just need to search you because they said you had a gun." So they fill them all up. Boom, 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 boom. Nope, no gun. Now they're fucking hot. So they go into the mill and they just start ripping people out. Like, who the fuck said he had a gun? And the guy, the owner, starts just sending people to the fucking. He's like, "It was her." And this lady's like,
"It was that bitch."
So the cop just starts ringing these people up. He's like, "You can fucking." He's like, "I can take you to jail right now for I can't remember what it was, but there's some law about you know it, Steve.
Yeah, filing like a false police report or a fake 911 call. Yeah. I mean,
and yeah,
I hate to
it was.
I hate to give stupid people ideas, but you could just be like, I saw him waving the gun. He must have thrown it away. Like, that's what I saw. You know, but if you're like, oh, I called you so you'd come out here quicker, that's where you get in trouble.
Right.
People.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yep. Yeah.
That's funny.
Every now and then I need a good YouTube cry, you know?
Dude, it's funny you wrote that down. I wrote down when you mentioned that. I've been on a subreddit a few more times than I care to admit called Happy Crying Dads.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Fucking dude. There's a couple of them that
man.
fucking they'll knock you down, bro.
Yeah, they'll sit you down, dude.
There was one. I'll say one real quick. There was one. This deaf dad.
Oh god.
Was he deaf or was
What'd
he
you
blind? I think he was deaf.
Nice.
Damn it! I'm pretty sure he was deaf. Anyway, his son, who was like 18 or 19, had died like catastrophically in a car accident. Like someone hit him, like a drunk driver hit his son and killed him. And I think before he like flatlined, like when he was on the way to the hospital, I don't know how they did it, but they like recorded his heartbeat or whatever, and they put it in like a fucking Build-A-Bear, so like you could feel the vibration of his heart, or like the beats per minute or whatever. And he got it. This dad got it in the mail for like Christmas or something, like his wife or whoever. And yeah, and he grabs it and it puts it against, and she tells him like what it is, and he's just like, I was like, oh god, dude, that's so intense. Like, yeah, it's like a one of those cathartic moments where you just need to like I need to feel something.
Dude, I think I started with like sports moments that'll make you cry. Dude. And then you go into, and then you run out of those, and then you go into military reunion.
Whitney Houston hitting the Star Spangled Banner in '92 Super Bowl, dude.
Yeah,
that one will get you, dude. Reactions to that, like live, like that people filmed on like a camcorder. I've gone down that rabbit hole too. Are pretty fucking awesome too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's going to put a pin in old McCabe and Miss Miller. Even though Steve didn't like it or probably wouldn't recommend it, I think it's an awesome, I won't go anti-Western.
No.
It's a Western film. It's just an older film that takes place during, I think, an interesting time in Westerns. I haven't seen a lot of Westerns that are set like right on the precipice of moving into like a new era quite like this. But yeah, I liked it. I say it's a lighter classic, I think is a good encapsulation, but
wrong.
If anyone has any thoughts about this flick, please let us know, or anything else in general. You can reach out to us via email at wax@waxingtheporpoise.com, or either of our socials. We're on Instagram at waxingtheporpoise and Twitter at waxingtheporp.
Yeah, I would actually love to hear from other people what they think about this movie. I mean, I might just be on my fucking period or something, but I had very strong feelings.
Yeah, a lot stronger than I thought. But yeah, that would be, please do if anyone's, I know this is kind of a deeper cut and it's quite a bit older flick. So
yeah, I hadn't heard of it.
I hadn't heard of it either. So I'd be interested if
there's a reason for
anyone
that.
Else. Yeah. Well, also they're probably not 60 or 70 listening to this podcast, but cool. Thanks again to Staring Jon for joining us. Do you want to plug I forgot I didn't have it down here like a fucking asshole.
Yes,
Twitch?
I would absolutely love to.
Yeah.
So twitch.tv /kinetic_onslaught spelled ONSLOT. Play lots of retro games. Actually just gave away a sealed copy of Battletoads Double Dragon. Brand new. Come on by Tuesdays, Thursdays, 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. Run for 4 hours right now. We're doing Battle of Olympus. It's a real good time. Come in, talk some shit. Just Also, I'm going to be giving away $1 million. So come on by, check it out, give the channel a like, and maybe you'll win it. You never know.
Nice.
You never know.
Alrighty, fellas. Well, thanks again for John for coming on and talking film. We'll have you on again, and until then, we'll see you when we see you, and we'll see you later. Staring Jon Classic. Goodbye.
They were cones.
Bye.